Hello, everyone. This is Coach Clayton, and this is the Women's Empowerment Interview episode. And today we have Danielle as our guest, and she is going to discuss her journey of overcoming personal and professional obstacles in her life. Welcome, Danielle.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Danielle, I want to thank you again for taking the time out of your busy day to chat with us. Um, and I just want to, as an accountability coach, the reason why I created this podcast was for women to join us each week, to find some sort of inspiration with so many things going on throughout the world. So thanks again, Danielle.
Happy to be here. Thank you.
So your background really intrigued me, and I just wanted to, have you join us, provide a little inspiration this week. So let's just dive right in. So Danielle, let us know tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So I'm Danielle Meadows-Stinnett. I own Octane Design Studios. It's a 12-year-old digital marketing and branding firm based in the heart of the Bluegrass. It started out in 3 specific areas, and we've grown exponentially since then. It was definitely a heart passion project that I knew that I wanted to build and sustain. We focus in practically a certain level of areas, if you will, focusing primarily in strategy, actually graphics, and then of course, web development and branding. Strategies have been a big growth area for us over the past 5 years, as we've also expanded in bringing on other women on our team. We're officially a team of 5 women across 4 countries.
Yay, that's so nice. That's so nice. Now, Danielle, what were some of the obstacles that you had to overcome building your business?
Oh, yeah. So I definitely had several of those, but I started from humble beginnings. I started as a single mom of a toddler, currently pregnant, in a 500 square foot, 1-bedroom apartment. So that's kind of where this place idea that maybe I could do more started from. So I will say I had a little bit of a strong lineage background. I'm a 3rd generation entrepreneur. So I've watched my ancestors create this own path outside of what society had built for us. And that's really important because when you see someone kind of forge their own path, that ignites you in a lot of ways to create your own. And so I knew it could be done because it had already been done before. So that encouraged me to kind of step out into my own lane outside of my situation and kind of start this firm. So that's really where the heart of it kind of started through that journey. I had to go through a lot of things, right? There's this huge, doubt fulfillment that we kind of go through as a single mom. On top of that, that added a lot of additional I don't want to say necessarily trauma, but definitely a situation where it was not as fruitful. It was not as fast bearing of fruits, if you will. And that is a fast track that a lot of people kind of get into when they think about entrepreneurship is, oh, I can just hurry up and get from point A to point B. And entrepreneurship is not a definitive line. It's very much more of a zigzag. And it's something that I've accustomedly have shared with so many people is that, life is a lot more like Tetris and less like Mario. So I have to remind people that it's not about getting to the finish. It's not about getting to the end game. It's really enjoying that journey in between and understanding and knowing how to pivot in a way to make those blocks align so that you can level up your life.
Absolutely, Danielle. And I always talk about this with guests that come on to the show. In Instagram, Facebook, all of these other things, you're always seeing success. You're always seeing wins. A lot of people don't realize that those are like 11, 15 years in the making. Okay. Yes. They don't realize that it's overnight. And I think that it's our duty to let women know that, yes, success is possible, but not the majority of the time, it's not going to be overnight, and it requires endurance if you want to have your own business. You will go through months where you get no sales. You will go through, you could be an instant success, but you never know. It's endurance.
Right.
And that's so important. So important. Now, Danielle, what you mentioned that you had people in your family that were role models to you. So you had
Mhm.
entrepreneurship all around you. What do you say to the women who are doubting themselves because they come from families that work 9 to 5? They may be in like a really director's level position or a really high C-suite level position, or they could be entry level position, and people are doubting their choices, saying,
Mhm.
what's going on with you? What do you say to them that don't have role models?
I think the deepest thing that I could say is probably believing in impact over perfection.
Oh,
And
yes.
I think that is a huge area where, again, we assume overnight success. We assume that we're going to have Insta money. We're assuming that we're going to have manageable cash flow options from the start. And in the beginning, it's just an idea.
Mhm.
And in the beginning, it's just a simple action. In the beginning, it's choosing a yes over a no, or choosing a no over a yes. Those simplicity pieces are the things that I think should motivate all of us, whether we come from a lineage of entrepreneurship or none at all. I think the deeper inspiration is the impact that we can create in the world. And that's the unique thumbprint that every entrepreneur can offer in a very distinct way. So my thumbprint is different from Coach's thumbprint. My thumbprint is different from any other entrepreneur's thumbprint. And I think that's the identity part that we kind of sometimes forget or kind of put on the shelf and say we'll get to that later. But a big part of us as entrepreneurs is our identity and our ability to create and recreate that identity.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What would you say to a woman in your you have so many years of experience? What would you say to a woman that's watching this right now, and she has her business that she has started, she has her job, but her business hasn't really can't really sustain her, but she wants to quit her job because she's so burned out? What would you suggest in
Mhm.
that scenario? Because we have so many women that are watching this and they're like,
Oh yeah. I'm too I'm
I
too
know what
legit to
I'm
quit.
gonna say, but I'm waiting to hear what you're gonna say.
Find your people. I think
Yeah.
that is something that I really contributed to a lot of my journey in the beginning, was finding my people and realizing when my people weren't my people.
Yeah.
I think that was a huge part in me building Octane. Was while everyone was starting around the same time that I was starting, they were scaling up very fast, and
Yeah.
now they're not as around anymore. And it's one of those situations where it's a slow grow.
Mhm.
Real business is a slow grow. Yes, you can fast track it. Yes, you can grow exponentially. But I think, again, going back to that impact over perfection is super important. I chose to create more impact with my influence and my affluence, instead of me using my influence to just get ahead. And
Mhm.
there's a level of cognitiveness when we talk about again, that identity and our purpose and the things that invoke that type of inspiration. So
Mhm.
I am positively encouraging anyone, if you're ready to, or maybe not ready, but thinking about,
Yeah.
dropping the 9 to 5. There's
Yeah.
no harm, no foul in keeping that 9 to 5 and keeping that side hustle,
Thank
whatever
you.
that is. There is no shame in that. Absolutely not. I have so many close girlfriends and so many close people that choose to work the 9 to 5 and have the side hustle. And it
Mhm.
is it is working dividends for them. So
Yes.
definitely just encouraging you to feel confident in your skin, feel
Mhm.
confident in your identity, and then having that wonderful community, whatever that may be. If it's just the one friend, if it's just the two people,
Yes.
if those are the two
Yes.
people that are inspiring you and encouraging you in that way, stick to your
Mhm.
people.
I love it. I love it. And from experience, ladies or gentlemen,
Mhm.
if you are depending on your job to pay for your bills, please do not quit until you have enough revenue from your business to sustain
Yes.
you. It is so rough to each month worry about bills if
Mhm.
you can't, and you're not going to be as creative as you really can be
Mhm.
if you quit before your business can sustain you. And this is coming from experience. So
Yep,
I'm just
same.
letting you all know.
Same,
Yes,
absolutely. Burnout
right?
is real. Like, yes,
Yeah.
on that level. You can't focus
Mhm.
on the things that you love if you're stressed out about everything else.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, Danielle, you mentioned finding your people. Okay. Um, do you think that as a business, when a business can serve everyone, or do you believe that if you niche down, you'll be more effective?
I started out like everybody else. I want to serve anybody. Anybody who walks in the door, I can do it. I am Wonder Woman. Ain't nobody gonna tell me that I
Yeah,
can't. We
yeah.
went through all the stages of denial,
Mm-hmm.
I think, in some areas. And then as things got more, as we started to sustain ourselves longer, it was more of a actually, our people is our people. And I think it's easier for us to reach out to more of a narrowed down group of people. And now we are. I mean,
Yeah.
60% of our business is either woman or BIPOC owned. And it's really
Mhm.
important for us to stick to those values. We want to represent the people that look like us.
Mhm.
So that was really important for us as well. So narrowing down those brand values, narrowing down those characteristics that make us unique. We
Mhm.
want the people who are into gaming. We want the people who love playing a
Yes.
couple of card games at night. We want the people who love bourbon. We want, we want women who are not afraid to be bold and stand on their beliefs. And
Mhm.
so that is something that, again, around Octane, that's a part of our culture. But for many people out there, they take, whoever comes in the door. And I think that strategy may work in the beginning, but I feel like over time to sustain yourself, you're going to have to find your people. So that's what we
Mhm.
chose to do.
I love that. I love that. Now, I always hear branding. What is branding? What exactly is that? I don't
All right.
know.
Yeah, let's talk about it. I love this. So, branding for me is literally it's the infinite body language of your business.
Okay.
And so that's something a lot of people think that branding is just the picture of the logo, it's
Yeah.
just this concrete sort of visual pieces and that's it. But no, branding goes so much deeper. It's the way that you speak to your customers, it's the way the impression that you want to leave behind. It's the level of customer service that you provide. Branding has so many tones and undertones to it. So just starting with just an image is a start, but the strategy behind branding is what really insinuates that word.
Okay. Okay. So branding is not only, so we're not, it's not only visual, but it's the messaging behind who you are as a company. So
You got it.
what are the different components that you offer in your agency? Just for,
Absolutely. So, real quick, it's just mostly strategy,
okay.
graphics, and then we also follow through on community. So, let me break that down a
Um,
little bit better. So, strategy is us sitting down one on one and just talking about your business, what that looks like.
okay.
Sometimes it's in the form of like, avatars or things along those lines. What's your customer
Yeah.
avatar? Other times it's, what's your language like? If this was a person, is she going to be drinking wine or is she going to be drinking bourbon? If she's wearing a
Okay.
dress, if it's black or if it's red, why? If she's got short hair or long hair, does she shop at Walmart or is she shopping at Bloomingdale's? Like, where are we going with that particular person? Who's that ideal person you're trying to reach? So that's some level of strategy that we do. The other part of that is the graphics, right? We build
Yeah.
out based on the things that you say.
Mhm.
We can create custom captions for you. We do hashtag research and we build these amazing content calendars for our clients 30 to
Ooh.
60 days out. So those are pre-made graphics. They're not something that we just pick Canva templates and say, ooh, that looks pretty. These are
Oh, okay.
custom made graphics. So we do work in Canva because that is something that is universal around here. But
Okay.
all of our graphics are unique and customized per client. And
Mm,
then the other part of that is for people who are wanting to build community. Social
yes.
media management is huge. Not only do we want to make the graphics, we want to make them function and we want to make
Mhm.
them profitable for you. So we also create on a level of social media management. We also do a lot of, and I mean a lot of web development over the past 5 years. We've been cranking them out
Okay.
with a lot of cool websites for different types of clients, ranging from nonprofits to
Mhm.
beauty skincare products to CMOS and bourbon.
Oh,
So we just love the fact that we're able to touch so many businesses of color. We love the fact that we're able to amplify people's stories you wouldn't even believe if you didn't even see it from us. So I just like being able to provide services across those boards. Oh, and I should probably add podcasting, because that's also a big part of
Oh, really?
Yes. So we have a podcast, the More Than Graphics podcast. It's for women in tech and women creatives. And that's kind of how we started building communities, specifically through podcasting.
Oh, nice. Now, there are going to be a lot of women that are interested in this because, like I said, I know that I always hear about branding, but to understand it in depth is very important. So thank you. Thank you for that. So what would be the message that you would like to convey to women about business or branding? What is the takeaway message that you would like to convey?
One is honor the season you're in. We're not for everybody. You shouldn't be for everybody, but you should be able to understand and appreciate where you are and the positioning that you want to go in. And I feel like a lot of women, sometimes we get stubborn in our own ways, and we kind of get in our own path, and we don't necessarily follow an area where we could actually grow and profit from. We push back, right? Change is hard for anybody. And I think it's really important as we start to embrace more women in the space, more women of color specifically in the space, that we kind of honor the place that we're in. That doesn't mean sitting back and doing nothing, but it is appreciating where we are and knowing where we want to go. So that kind of dream casting, if you will, for ourselves, we need to get back into that practice. And I think that creates a level of accountability for ourselves, but also for each other.
Okay, lovely. Where can we find you online, Danielle?
Absolutely. You can find me. I love Instagram, Octane Design. That's our jam. Instagram is our jam, but you can also find us at the same place, Octane Designs, on Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Well, Danielle, thanks again for taking the time out of your day to chat with me. I really appreciate it. Thank you. And it's been a pleasure meeting you.
Thank you.